Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chocolate Hazelnut Podcast. I'm Hazelnut,
And I'm chocolate.
and today we have a little bit of a different episode for you. We're going to go ahead and read a comment or a post that we came across um, on social media, as well as a few comments, and we're going to discuss it a little bit. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Hey, me. How are you? Oh,
Technical glitches. All right, so the comment says, or the post says, Dear future husband, no watching football in our house.
as a man, I laugh at that. If I came across that post on a woman that I was entertaining, I would have to ask her about it, how she feels. Is that was true or was it just for seeking attention?
I mean, let's not even talk about like if it's true or not. Let's just operate on the assumption that it is true. And this is how this poster feels, right? I feel like one of the things that initially came across my mind is that one, they're a little bit crazy because literally for men who enjoy sports, football being one of them, um, they like their sports just like women typically like to get their hair and done or hair and done, haha, their hair and nails done, or they like I don't know, their chick flicks or something like that. Like that's things that guys typically enjoy. Why
Mhm.
would you take that away?
Well, for me, it tells me that she's not compromising. It's her way or no way. And for me, that is a big red flag. That means you're constantly going to have to cater to her to make her happy in order to have peace in your household, that she does not want to make adjustments to fit you into her life, but you have to compromise to fit her in your life. So it's all about her winning in a sense, having it her way.
So I'm gonna play devil advocates here and say, well, what if she had a terrible experience with a man who put football above house and family, and or she's just very adamant about like no football for, let's say, something crazy like religious reasons, right? And there are people out there, women, who will say, well, she can find a husband who doesn't like to watch football and she can have what she wants.
She can. Uh, It's not just women; men will say that too. But if it's religious reasons, she need to find somebody that subscribes to that same belief within that religion. If it's just a personal reason because she had a bad experience, maybe a terrible life changing experience, she shouldn't be out here dating. She should be seeking therapy to deal with that trauma so
Mm-hmm.
that she doesn't take that into the next relationship, take it to the next guy. So this is where you would have to go and say, should I really be out here dating? I need to get help. And her
Very
friends
true.
and family should probably point her in that direction if they really truly love her and want to see the best for her. As a guy, this is a red flag, like I said, because this comes across as very selfish. I get it. Some guys go overboard watching sports because I'm one of them. But if you let it be known up front, hey, I like football season. Football season's only a few months out of the year. I want to sit down and watch it Saturday, Sunday, possibly Monday, Thursday, and Friday. But I'm still going to get my job done as a man around the house. I just may be watching football, and I get it. I still got to make time for you. If we have kids, the kids, to make sure that I get my work done. If I can do all of that and still enjoy football during that time, okay, I get it. It's going to be some Saturdays where you want to go out or Sundays where you want to go out after church, and I may want to watch a game. This is when you look at the schedule and be like, all right, let's plan this out. Football season is coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite time. Let's.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go somewhere? This is the weekends that it's a rivalry game I want to watch, and I want to watch it during this time. Let's try not to play nothing during this time. Instead of watching the whole slate of college football on that Saturday, you watch that one game and you do the things with the family. You both have to make compromises
Hmm.
so that you're not being selfish. But this is saying no football. That comes across as very selfish.
I mean, selfish, controlling, and like you said, like, there might be some therapy that's needed. But let's go ahead and read a few of the comments that was left with this post. So this commenter said, "Honey, you have unrealistic expectations and no understanding of how to admire and appreciate a man. Every man first needs acceptance. The three A's of valuing a man's needs are acceptance, admiration, and appreciation."
So I would say she is absolutely correct because if you accept a man, you accept him for who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You have admiration, you admire him, and you appreciate him. That makes a man feel respected. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women value love, men value respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we know that a woman loves us. That's how we know that they cherish us. They respect our opinion. They respect our leadership. They respect us. They respect us and allow us to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
They allow themselves to be vulnerable. In turn, it allows us to be vulnerable with them and also to open up to them.
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to be in our natural place without devaluing her. And it allows her to relax and pass some of her duties off to us. It allows us to shoulder the load. But when you have no respect for a man, you say you can't do this, like he's your child or your puppy or whatever it is, then you're saying, I'm above you. When a man is like, oh, your woman should be side by side with you, not subjugated to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people say, oh, but you were just talking like she should submit to her husband. No, that doesn't mean she's underneath him. Look at the relationship of a king and a queen.
Mm-hmm.
While he has the ultimate authority, most of the time he does not make a decision without his queen's input. While she may not make that final decision, she's part of it. He respects her, he values her, but she is not the king of that castle unless something happens, then she steps in. Or if you want to look at a more traditional approach, look at the president and vice president. The
Mm-hmm.
president makes a decision, but he gets input from his vice presidents and he gets it from his cabinet before he makes a decision, before he signs or she signs any bills or rejects it. So it's not a power struggle just because you use the word submit and you're not subjugated. You guys are on equal footing with just as much power. Just typically the ultimate decision may go to the president or the king, but you know what? Sometimes they may defer that decision and go to you and lean on you because they're not familiar with that subject. So when you say, I'm finna wrap it up and bring it back.
Okay.
So when you say no football, how would you like for him to say no going out with your girls?
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, I don't personally like that one a whole lot. If it's a regular occurrence, no going shopping, no
No, the biggest one, no social media.
no social media. How would you like if you said no social media in this house?
Not even in this house. If you want to be with me.
The whole world will be in an uproar.
And before you guys go hard on us in the comments, like,
Tell him to go hard. I want him to go hard. You know me.
I'm just gonna put this out there though. Like, literally, my whole thing with all of this is that do not demand anything from somebody else that you're not willing to do yourself. So if she's saying, no football, and he says, well, no this, then quite honestly, you have absolutely no reason to then, try to rebut that, because literally it's a give and take. And if you're not willing to do something that you're asking somebody else to do for you, then you might want to like think about that and then come to a compromise. um Also, back to the whole three A's that this commenter was saying: acceptance, admiration, and appreciation. As you said, those three things do make a man feel respected and loved by their women, or their partner, whatever. And that's a really big thing. And I feel like in doing those three things properly is a way for women, or to like sort of submit. And what I mean by that is to say, like, if you can accept your guy for who they are, accept all of their quirks, accept all of their pet peeves, all of
Can
that kind of
can I
stuff.
come to you?
Hmm.
Accept his imperfections as his perfections,
Right. And
or his perfect imperfections.
well, the biggest thing I was going to say is like, so many women will say, like, oh, I'll accept a man as long as, right? And then they list out a bunch of things. Oh, he's willing to work on himself. He's willing to do this. He wants to do this and he has higher goals. I'll accept him. You're not accepting him. You're accepting him with conditions. And that's not necessarily the same thing because your conditions will usually continue to grow and never be met, like, in general.
And
So you will never really truly be happy, and then you'll feel like you're settling when you never accepted that man for who he was from the beginning.
so you're not truly settling, and your lack of happiness comes from within instead of external, because happiness is internal. Yes, it can come from an external source, but if you're
Mm-hmm.
not happy with yourself, the person that's making you happy, the moment they mess up, that's what you're looking for, and then you're right back. But let's go to the next comment because we about to open a whole nother can of worms.
All right, this next commenter says, correct. And if a woman takes care of those three A's, she will have a devoted, faithful husband who will treat her like the queen she is.
So now I get to play devil's advocate
Well,
because
we just talked about this. That's literally what we just
I'm
talked
gonna play
about.
devil's advocate because there's gonna be women out there and it's gonna say no matter what you do for a man, he's gonna cheat and do what he wants to do. And I'm gonna play devil advocate and advocate. So I would say for that, look at the type of man that you're attracting. If everybody wants tall, dark, and handsome, and that's what you get, guess what? He has more options than just you, so he may exercise those options. However, if you're looking for somebody who's an athletic person who constantly tracks a lot of women and that's all they know, chances are that they may cheat. Not all of them will. You got to look at, are you dating the same guy just in a different body?
Well, I would also say,
Because what we want isn't always what we need.
on top of that, that when not all men are the same, not all women are the same. If you've had bad experiences, you need to heal from your past, and go forward with a better mindset. Now, not necessarily saying that you have to be 100% healed, to move forward, but you have to at least acknowledge that you have some healing to do and be willing to work on that. And the other thing is too as well is like saying that the devoted husband and everything else. What? Oh, okay. Um, so the other thing is, as far as like being a voted husband and thing, going back to the cheating standpoint, quite honestly, like you can be okay. Look, you keep laughing.
Yes, because you keep saying like and like.
Oh well, sorry, folks. Today my brain is like whatever. Okay. Anywho, so when it comes to that man, so you can be the most devoted, care, whatever, submissive wife. You could be the most devoted, I'm here for you, I got you type of husband. But if that man or woman decides that they want to cheat, that is a them problem that almost never has anything to do with you.
Oh,
Hold
oh,
on.
oh, hold
Hold
on.
on. Wait.
Hold
Let
on.
me say
That's
this and then I'm gonna let you say
if
it.
she's sticking through those 3 A's, it's not her problem. But if she's being selfish, controlling, manipulative, then that is a her problem because he should have walked away or she should have walked away instead of cheating. But
Oh no, no, no. Time
yes,
out. Hold on.
they should have walked away instead of cheating. But sometimes your actions can drive your partner to cheat.
Now I won't say that that's completely false because I agree in some
I'm not
circumstances.
advocating for cheating.
But what I'm gonna say is this though, right? Because there's always the other side of it where it's just like, okay, even if that person was not holding their end of the bargain, so to speak, when you're married, you set your vows. One of those things was, to
Yeah,
honor, protect, serve, all of that stuff,
I'm,
or whatever your partner. So cheating obviously steps outside of that.
mhm.
And then two, So now it's still a you problem because if you're not happy with how things are, because remember we talk about it all the time as far as like, the peaks and valleys, the tough times, the hard times, this, that, and the third. So if that other person is not holding their end of the bargain to show you the type of love that you feel like you need from them, that
It's
is
still,
something that you have to work through with them.
yeah,
So that's still like a them problem. So like if
yeah.
they cheat on you, even though you wasn't holding up 100% of your bargain, yes, you might have contributed to the way they felt, but them stepping out is still their decision.
It is still their decision.
So that's why I say it's a them problem,
I'm not passing the buck on the cheating because I don't believe any man should cheat on any woman,
and vice versa.
and vice versa.
Now, see, the other thing is too, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to men versus women cheating, when men cheat, it's like, oh, all men cheat, this, that, and the third, and women should automatically leave if a man cheats on her. But then, like, that's how women feel. But then men would be like, oh, give me a second chance, I would never do it again, da 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 da, right? But then when the roles are reversed and it's a woman cheating on the man, like, usually is like, oh, you broke my trust, I can never trust you again, da 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 da. And the women are like, oh, well, she cheated because he wasn't doing this, or it was a reason why she cheated, but it was never a reason why the man cheated.
Yeah. Well, as the man, we like to feel like we're the only key to that lock, so to speak. So once you cheat, whether it's mentally or physically, it typically, men won't say this, it devastates them, it hurts their ego, it hurts their pride. They feel totally disrespected, and once you lose the respect to your woman, you have nothing.
So you're saying that a relationship can be saved after a woman cheats?
It can be, but it may take a little bit more because when guys get hurt, we get hurt probably worse than women do.
I
We
beg
just
to differ
we
on that.
just don't show it. We show it in different ways. Once you break our trust, a lot of times that trust is almost gone forever. We never look at you the same.
And so the same can't be said for women then.
I didn't say the same can't be said for women. I'm talking about from a man's perspective. You would have to give me a woman's perspective on
Well,
this.
I mean, I don't think like most women do. I feel like so. My personal opinion would be that, quite honestly, I feel like it depends on the person. Now, I will say the vast majority of women will be more understanding and willing to accept a man cheating versus men um, accepting women cheating because, like you said, most women when they cheat, that dude is like, no, like I can't, and they cannot get over it.
Yeah,
But
I'm not gonna accept
I
you
don't.
cheating.
That's just one of those double standards that are out there.
Yeah,
Now, the rate of cheating, I feel like it's the same for both
yeah.
men and women, and so quite honestly, I in this day and age, I don't really understand the reasoning under like pointing fingers or accepting men but not women and this that and the third
Yeah.
because for both their reasoning and their thought process can be the exact same.
I think we should have a whole another podcast on that.
Okay,
I think we should double
that
standards.
that like yeah, yeah,
That's you guys let us know in the comment section. Should we do a podcast on
double
double
standards.
standards?
All right. But I think we have one more comment. And let's see. Do
We
we?
got two. We got 90 seconds.
All right. The last comment says, if a man needs that much fluffing, he can go find someone else. He is way too much work already.
I think she's in line with the
Whew.
original poster. And for me, this is a woman that's probably selfish. And if I had to bet, she's single and hasn't had a relationship that lasted longer than a year, maybe two.
Mm. So I'm just gonna say this, and because we've already kind of gone down so many different roads with this, but literally, like you need healing. You cannot bring all of that past trauma and stuff into future relationships. And then two, if you're saying if he needs that much fluffing, like this seems to be a woman commenter, but if you are saying a man needs has too much work, like I'm not saying you might need too much work yourself, but in general, women have more demands of men than men have of women in general. So with that being said, like it's literally not that you cannot take care of him. It's not like he's asking you to be his best friend. He's not dragging you to every football game. He's not expecting you to come sit and watch all of these things with him. He's not making you play fantasy football with him. He's not doing any of those things. Like, so literally I don't understand how he's that much work. Because if anything, as a woman, you're asking that man to come to you to events that he would not necessarily like going to the awkward theater. He's not gonna like that most of the time. Not saying all men, but some men don't. But you expect him to come to show you support, but you can't give him support when he wants to watch a football game. Or better yet, oh, I want to go on a family vacation with me, you, and everybody else that I know. Well, okay, I don't really want to go. I don't even like your family like that. Well, you got to get to know them. So I expect you to be there. Again, he's compromising. But yet, if he tells you, hey, my family's having to get together, y'all aren't talking right now because y'all had a fight, I'll be back. And, again, why? How is this so much work? I don't get
All right. Well, since you dropped that hammer right there, we're gonna call that end
it.
of the show. Let us know if you agree, disagree. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us on our different uh,
Platforms,
platforms, YouTube, and across the podcast arena.
social media. Wait, y'all can find us. Look us up. Look us up.